In this video, I'd like to show you how easy it is to use the new proxy feature that's available in TrendMiner Pro. Now, I personally don't hardly ever use proxies, and in fact, in none of the training videos am I using any kind of proxies. So it's definitely not something you need. There are some people that need to go through proxy just because of the countries they're located in and to stay anonymous. And then there's some people that like to go through proxies just to keep their searches more private. And so we wanted to make the option available in TrendMiner Pro. The other option, the other reason you might need to use proxies is if you're doing a lot of searches. Remember that we're querying data from Google, so it's always a good courtesy to have a nice delay, but if you wanted to set a lower delay and go through proxies, you could do that. That's another option. So in order to get to that setting here, you're just going to click this icon here, the settings icon, and you'll see that you need to select the use proxies if you want to do that, but you need to make sure you have active proxies here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste in some proxies that I have here, and this delay timeout will determine how long before if there's no response after a certain amount of time, then it will just assume the proxy's dead. And this is in milliseconds, so 5,000 milliseconds equals 5 seconds. So I'll go ahead and click check proxies, and what's going to go out, it's going to specifically go out and try and get trends from these proxies, and if it gets a trend result, then it knows it's an active proxy. If it doesn't get a trend result, then it knows it's not a good proxy. So when it's finished here, we'll be able to see which ones were good and which were bad. So in this case, this was not a good proxy and this was a good proxy. So right down here, I'm going to go ahead and click remove proxies that failed. And when I do that, you'll see it remove the proxy that was failed. And then I want to check the select use proxies checkbox there. And that basically says go through this proxy. And then I'll click save. Now I'll come over here and I'll put in a keyword and I'll hit find trends. And then you'll see here it will go out, it'll use that proxy. I'll just go ahead and cancel so we don't need the graphs right now. But as you can see, it's really that simple. Now, if you have multiple proxies here, it will randomly go through and use different proxies so that it's not just using the same proxy over and over. And you can use any type of HTTP proxy at the moment. That's what we have available. And so you can put any kind of HTTP proxy here. And that's just how you use the proxy feature. It's extremely easy to use. From time to time, you'll see free proxies show up here. That's just from our server. We're looking for proxies that can be used for spotting trends. So we'll put those here if you'd like to use them. Otherwise, you can just paste your own proxies here and use the check proxy feature to make sure they're active proxies. And that's really it. It's very, very simple to use proxies in TrendMiner Pro.